Hello, I am playing Cycling Manager 2023 and it's pretty interesting. But there's one big problem, I can't win these sprints. Here I'm playing Kuurne, Brazil Kuurne, the classic in Belgium, the Cobblestone Classic. And I'm trying to win here with Stuyven, Mads Pedersen, and Edward Theuns, I think his name is. We have here 3 kilometers from the finish line now, 2.8 kilometers. And as we can see here, I think I'm doing a very good layout, lead out here with Stuyven, Mads Pedersen and Theuns. 2.8 kilometers from the finish line. And now, actually, because Mads Pedersen is not at his best in this race, I try to sprint with Edward Theuns because he also has a good sprint, as we can see, 76. Because he's in better form this day than Mads Pedersen. And here we can see Mads Pedersen starting the sprint here with 1.1 kilometer to go. And he's far ahead of the rest. And Edward Theuns is just behind him. But what happens? We can see that even that Mads Pedersen is a very good sprinter. I think he has 80 or something like that. As a sprinter in Cycling Manager 2023, we can see that he will only finish at the 21st place despite being ahead 1 kilometer from the finish line. What will happen? We can see it here. Then he just loses all his tempo here and he gets overtaken by 20 riders. And how about Edward Theuns? How is it that he's so slow? He has 76, he should be a good sprinter. And even that Mads Pedersen does a perfect lead out for him, Edward Theuns finishes 23rd. What happens with these sprints? I cannot figure out how I am not able to win them, because 1 kilometer from the finish line I am leading, and as you can see, both Mads Pedersen and Edward Theuns are sprinting to the finish line. So it's not a matter of them running out from energy, they still have energy. So what is it that makes them stop before the finish line? They lose all their tempo, they just, I will not say they are standing totally still because they are still sprinting, but why do they get so slow? Why do they get so slow? Let's see it again. We can see 2 kilometers, 1.7 kilometers from finish line. I'm with Pedersen and Theuns as number 1 and 2. They sprint, and even though they have very good stats, they are so slow. So slow. Can somebody explain me why people or riders who should have very good stats as sprinters, Edward Theuns has 76 and Mads Pedersen has 80, why are they so slow at sprinting? And how is it that it is so impossible to win a sprint with riders who should be so good sprinters? Can you explain that for me? Is it that I start the sprint too early, or what is the case? But in real life, Mads Pedersen always starts his sprints early, and he wins often in real life. So how is it that he cannot start his sprint early? Here, if he starts his sprint early, then he runs out of stamina, it seems. Maybe the problem is that I should have done the lead out until 500 meters before the finish line instead of 1.1 kilometer. Maybe I started the lead out too early, as you can see here. But still, they are not out of energy. They are still sprinting towards the finish line. So, if they are still sprinting, how is it that they just lose all their momentum and all their pace at the end? I can't really figure this out. If you have an idea, what am I doing wrong in this sprint? Why do I not win these sprints despite having sprinters who have stats from 75 to 80? They should be among the best sprinters. And how is it that I am leading the race 1 kilometer from the finish line and then I finish 21st with Mads Pedersen and 23rd with Edward Theuns? How is it possible that these sprinters are so slow, so slow? See, Mads Pedersen, he totally stops. He's like a 90-year-old man, so slow, incredibly slow. It's very strange.